It is the seeing eye test we've all been promised. The EST versus the HBIC.
Was the Riddick Regiment able to ruin Raul?
And in tonight's main event, it is Dysfunction in the Junction as Adam Cole takes on Matt Riddle.
Hang on to your flip-flops, folks. This is NXT.
Support, no DQ.
Welcome everybody to What's NXT for... Don't look at me, look at them.
Support, no DQ.
Welcome everybody to What's NXT for May 8th, 2019. I'm your host, the Rated R reviewer, Stephen Osborne, joined as always by the General, Jerry Slaughter.
Good evening, wrestling fans.
And tonight's show was pretty good.
It was balanced out very, very well, I thought.
You know what? It was only 3 matches, and as everybody knows, I like 4 matches on an hour-long show. I feel like 10 minutes a match is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't always need to have pay-per-view quality matches on NXT TV. This is NXT TV.
Yeah,
occasionally a main event can be like 15, 20 minutes long, and that's what we saw tonight, and that's why we only had 3 matches. Because tonight's main event, as previously stated, was Matt Riddle versus Adam Cole. This is sort of a grudge match. They had one encounter backstage, and this is the match that resulted back there while Adam Cole was getting photoshot.
And what do I say right now? It was enough. It was enough of a build.
Yeah,
seriously.
This match, we'll get to that. Our first match of the night was Mia Yim versus Bianca Belair, and we knew we were getting this match this week. This was the only other match that we knew we were getting, besides Adam Cole and Matt Riddle. I was really hoping this match wasn't going to be the main event.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Bianca Belair is a main event player in NXT right now, but I do not believe that Mia Yim is.
No.
And to say the very least, I was fucking surprised by this match.
Yeah.
I was entertained as hell. I have a newfound respect for Mia Yim. Not necessarily a love for her or anything.
We're starting to see a little bit of the appeal.
Yeah, I see why she got her job. I haven't seen it up to this point, but she threw in some strikes in this match that were so calculated looking. And I feel like the only reason she didn't speed them up was because she didn't want to hurt Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
But they were spot on. That was toward the beginning of this match, but before I break down some of the spots, because I've got like 7 or 8 spots on this match. But before I get to those, what did you think about the opening match, Jerry?
I actually thought it was a great opening match. Like you said, I'm glad it didn't main event the card. But when you get Adam Cole versus Matt Riddle, you like to give them as much time as you want.
That's the main event of the show. I don't care where you're at.
Yeah. So basically, it's everything I was expecting. A lot of strikes and quick maneuvers out of Mia Yim, and a lot of shows of strength and agility out of Bianca Belair. It was a pretty well even match, and you kind of already knew like who was supposed to be a face and who was supposed to be heel in this match, but it finally got further established at the end, which I'm okay with that too. Like it could have been, a nice clean finish or whatnot, but it wasn't, and that was refreshing actually, weirdly enough.
As you mentioned to me when we were watching this, Bianca Belair was almost clearly the babyface when she faced Baszler. But coming to that point, she had been a heel.
Yeah.
So she's been on this weird transitional from heel to face back to heel. It's hard to tell where she stands.
She's on that cool heel high, where it's cool to hate her, but it's also not cool to like her at the same time. We're just kind of in between.
Well, we found out for sure in this match that she is indeed back to being a heel, full on. What kind of heel, doesn't matter. At least we know she's a heel. There's a lot of tweeners that it's just hard to tell, and sometimes that's cool, like with Walter.
Isla Dawn.
But with Isla Dawn, it's infuriating.
Yes,
it's fucking infuriating, and I'm so glad we haven't had to see her too much over the last several months on NXT UK, because it really is. Because she's supposed to be this baby face, but her whole gimmick and her look and her entrance and everything, and some of the moves that she does,
heel!
The way she works in the ring, she puts on a lot of rest holds for a baby face. So yeah, when it's not clear if it's a baby face or a heel that you're working with or that you're watching, sometimes it can be less than entertaining. Because it's distracting.
It takes you out of the match. Am I supposed to be rooting for her? Am I supposed to be... she's playing to the crowd, but then she'll turn her back on the crowd.
What I like about Bianca Belair is that even if she's playing a babyface, she's so cocky.
Yeah.
And it makes you want to boo her anyway, but at the same time, she does it so well, and she tends to back it up. So it makes you want to cheer her.
Like the second you said that, I automatically had the Kid Rock lyric. It's like, he ain't cocky, motherfucker, if you back it up.
But the end of this match left no question.
No.
She is heel.
Mm-hmm.
So let me start at the beginning. Yim, like I said before, threw in a lot of these strikes, and she had the upper hand on the match, but she goes for that cannonball into the corner, and it was way too early for that, and Bianca dodges it, and this is where she takes over, and suddenly she's got a lot of rest holds.
Oh, yeah.
They end up trading a little bit, but then Yim counters and ends up rolling up Bianca with an SOS that she just rolls through into a pinfall without the slam. Brilliantly done, near fall.
It looked good.
And then she locks in a guillotine on Belair, who ends up reversing the guillotine, and who didn't see this coming?
Yeah.
Acts of strength, like the gentleman said. She reverses the guillotine into a deadlift vertical suplex. Oh, impressive by Bianca Belair. Yim counters a running frog splash, so she gets the knees up, goes right into Bianca Belair's gut. This is where she takes over the match. A lot of flip-flopping in this match.
Yeah.
Let alone the two that go flying into the crowd in the main event. A lot of going back and forth in this match. So Yim hits this shotgun drop kick into the corner, and this is where she actually hits the rolling cannonball into the corner. Then she locks in a tarantula.
Almost.
Takes the whole 4 count.
Yeah.
Before the 5, before the disqualification. And then I think Belair goes to like shoulder tackle her off the apron. You know how this goes. So Bianca Belair's head is outside the ropes, and then
Yim's kind of sunset flips over.
well, she knees her.
Yeah.
Because that's how that sequence goes. So that and then while Belair is sort of stunned, bent over at the ropes, she jumps over, goes for that sunset flip. But Bianca Belair starts teetering instead of going over. And then, like I called it, she drops in for a pin, but then she goes to use the ropes for help. And the ref, Jessica, sees it. She's like, no, you can't do that. And in the confusion, Mia Yim, like, teeter-totters the pin into a pinfall for herself. She gets a near fall. Bianca Belair comes back, and this time, coming back from it, her hair whip wraps around the middle rope. And she holds it. And all the ref sees in the count is that Bianca Belair's hands aren't near the ropes.
Yes.
Guess she doesn't see the hair.
Oh
she
my
counts the
God.
pin. 1, 2, 3. Bianca Belair gets the win. So she cheated to win. Great cheat, though.
Oh,
Love
yes.
this. Better use of the hair to me than using it as a whip. Because that's freaking obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it should be illegal. I know it's part of her body. But that'd be like me going in and trying using my beard as a weapon, like to choke somebody or something. Like, you can't do that. Can't do that. Put the hair away. Like, put it up in a man bun.
And Bianca, all the way up the ramp. Sorry, not sorry.
Super cocky.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Love it.
Up next, we've got security cam footage backstage in a loading dock or
Brilliantly
some
shot
shit.
security cam footage.
So, the War Raiders or the Viking Raiders, depending on what week it is, because I believe during the shoot, they called them the War Raiders as they were exiting. But then a moment later, you had a voiceover with Mauro Ranallo, who was calling them the Viking Raiders.
and the caption afterwards that they're in B.
Yeah, and it was on the screen as the Viking Raiders. But anyway, the security cam footage is of them leaving, and then as they're about to leave, like some loading gate, like for a truck, a big four-wheel drive truck, like a quad cab, big old truck, rolls up and blocks the way, and it's Jackson Riker. And while they're distracted by him and his truck, Cutler and Blake attack the War Raiders with, I think, rubber trash cans.
One gets a Rubbermaid trash can. I believe Hanson gets a Rubbermaid trash can to the back. It looked vicious. It looked vicious.
Yeah, I'm sure it hurt like hell.
Oh my God.
So they go down, and then Jackson Riker gets out of the truck, and they have a 3-on-2 beatdown of the War Raiders / Viking Raiders, and then they all jump into the truck and drive off like cowards.
Yeah.
But I guess this is leading to, I'm hoping it leads to a match between Cutler and Blake and the War Raiders, and the War Raiders drop the titles to the Forgotten Sons, because why the fuck not? They've been around for so long, and they've actually been doing really well at this gimmick.
Yeah.
I say give them the tag team belts, because Jackson Riker's there to give them a reason to actually win. They might be a mediocre tag team, but they've got him on the outside helping. It makes sense. Fucking just do it, and let the Viking Raiders or the War Raiders or Hanson and Rowe or Ivar and Ackman or whatever the fuck their name is.
Ackman?
What the fuck is the other? Ivar and Eric.
Yeah. I was about to say,
Whatever their names are,
yeah.
let them go off into the sunset, go up to the main roster and do their thing. In the meantime...
Well, I think also if you put the straps on the Forgotten Sons, you either A, have the Freebird rule in case one of them get injured, so that's always cool to have. Or B, it'll give Jackson Riker even more of a push to go for either a North American title run or an NXT title run. That way, they're at least all three have belts. So that'd be cool too. Because right now, Riker's just a monster heel, dude. It's pretty great.
Yeah, so I believe the graphic after this had the voiceover with Mauro Ranallo. It's talking about the Viking Raiders and how they're going to show up, I believe, next week to make an announcement about their status with NXT.
Their situation, yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to that. I'm really hoping that they're not going anywhere, at least until they lose the titles in the ring.
Yeah.
I'm really, really hoping they're not just going to relinquish the titles because they're going off. Because why? Fucking NXT tapes like once a month.
Yeah.
So fucking just go to Florida once a month, tape NXT, and then go back on the road with the main roster. Whatever. That's just my opinion on it.
Well, it makes the most sense, really.
So anyway, after this we get a video package. Well, it's not even a package; it's a video. Somebody was videotaping Shayna Baszler helping training Duke and Shafir in a ring in the Performance Center.
And they still look like shit.
They're beating each other. Well, they're not beating each other up. They're wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling around, and then while Baszler is looking on and coaching them from behind, comes Io Shirai. So maybe she's not a full-fledged babyface anymore. Everybody's a tweener now.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like this really didn't make much sense to me because, you know, Io Shirai is supposed to be a clear-cut babyface in this whole thing, but she doesn't see, she goes full-on Pearl Harbor on Shayna Baszler.
I was expecting, like, a shouting match at first, and then they had, something. No, like... Just out of nowhere, and I think she was dressed in dark colors too. Like I didn't see it coming at all.
She was wearing her like black jeans and like her black Io Shirai shirt. So yeah, she looked very ninja-like.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything until Baszler went down. So she attacks Baszler, and then Duke and Shafir try and get her off of Baszler. Then a whole mess of jobber people swarm the ring, male and female alike. Some young dude that looks a lot like William Regal. It's definitely not William Regal, but he the haircut, man. It's like that's how he got his job. He's like, dude, I'm just like you, bro.
You could be my dad. Who knows?
Be my new dad. So up next, we've got match number 2. I was actually caught unawares on this match, man.
Yeah.
This one entertained the shit out of me for several reasons, and we'll get into this. We've got Raul Mendoza, and when he came out, even Jerry said, well, who's Mendoza jobbing to this week? I'm like, could it be not Jackson Riker? Could it be Dijakovic?
Yeah, and I said, no, it's like he wrestled last week. Maybe Kona Reeves, maybe give Kona Reeves a push.
I would have really enjoyed that. But no, we have the returning Riddick Moss, who apparently had an injury several months ago, and he is back a lot quicker than they thought he was going to be because of...
the Riddick Regimen.
The Riddick Regimen. And he's got it just pasted all over him, all over his ring gear. He comes out with he's got these electrodes to his arms and shit, like he's recording everything. He's got a water bottle with the Riddick regimen, and
that's him sipping on the good life.
Yeah, sipping on the good life.
If you can't really imagine what we're talking about, go back about a decade to the Simon System on WWE television with Simon Dean. It was a lot like that, minus the segue.
I had completely forgotten about the Simon System.
Yeah.
And I think I might hold it against you for reminding me. That was bad.
Yes. It was horrible.
This match, however, was really great.
Oh, yes, it was.
Really great. Before I get into, again, I've got several high spots. What did you think about the match, Jerry?
I wasn't expecting, naturally the turnout of the match. Because usually when you have a returning star like that, you like to give him a push. But with Raul Mendoza, I'm always impressed with him. Anytime him and Humberto Carrillo team up, it's always a huge spot fest. Because they're both extremely fast, extremely agile, and just pull off some really great counters and whatnot. I didn't really know what to expect out of Riddick Moss, except for the fact that I like the gimmick. I like the whole fitness guru. I like the whole, but he did this whole chauvinistic thing that was okay for a little bit there, but that got kind of boring. But him just working out in between holds and or between attacks and whatnot, very Scott Steiner-ish.
Yeah.
And I really dug that, and I think it's going to be a great gimmick if they parlay it right, but not tonight.
I think what I like about this most is that Raul Mendoza is as a singles competitor here, and they're pushing him.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we can make fun of him as being a jobber, but really, he is quite good in the ring.
Oh,
he's super entertaining.
There's jobbers who are in squash matches, and then there's enhancement talent, which is Raul Mendoza.
Well, Carrillo and Mendoza were going nowhere as a tag team.
Mm-mm.
So Carrillo goes to 205 Live, and even though he showed up on NXT UK not long ago.
Yeah, he'll show up
wherever they'll let him be, he'll be.
Don't want to be that guy, but that's Mexican for you.
But meanwhile, you've got Raul Mendoza in NXT, and he's one of the very few that can do what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really fun to watch. Riddick here is clearly the heel. As you mentioned, the chauvinistic thing where we've still got Jessica in the ring as the ref, so he's kind of telling off the female ref. I go by my own numbers. You should go by the Riddick regimen numbers, kind of thing. If you'd done the Riddick regimen count, I would have won the match, kind of thing. There was one point we thought he was going to win the match, but he was just so blatantly an asshole heel that at some point halfway through the match, I'm like, holy shit,
Raul's gonna win.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking this Moss guy. There's no way he's winning this match after all of that.
It's not gonna be Barry Harwood's, grandeur, but it's gonna be a win.
Yeah, this is the kind of posturing and preening that he was doing in this match that does not make sense for it to come with a win, where he gets to see, I told you so.
Yeah.
No. This is the kind that ends with him losing, how did I
go
lose?
wrong? Yeah.
How did I lose? Well, maybe it's because you were too busy doing push-ups. So early on in this match, Mendoza hits a dropkick or something onto Moss's arm, his shoulder. And so he retreats to the corner and grabs this, and I had to look up the name of this, and somehow guessed it when I went to look it up. I called it a percussive impact massager.
Yeah.
And no, it's a percussive massager for, I guess, chiropractic or some shit like that. Massage therapists.
They use it in the sports world.
So he uses it on himself to try and make his shoulder feel better. And I'm like, oh yeah, totally heel. This guy's going down. Raul, of course, hits a bunch of high flying shit. But he hits a running shooting star press for a near fall at one point. He doesn't hit it square, kind of hits it mostly with his legs, but I'll let it go. It was brilliant looking.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes for a springboard off the middle rope, and I don't know what he was going to finish it with, but maybe a cross body. but he didn't really nail the crossbody. But Moss grabs him out of midair and brings him into the crossbody.
Yeah.
Into a power slam or a world's strongest slam. But instead, he lifts him. He does some weightlifting.
And fall away.
And then a fall away slam. I think he got a near fall for that.
Yeah.
Let's see. He kind of no. After the fall away slam, he goes for this moment of zen. Looks like he's going to kip up, but instead he goes cross-legged and he sits there and he meditates for a moment. Then he rolls over into some push-ups, and then he does a running shoulder into Mendoza, who's in the corner.
It's a good look. It's a good shoulder.
And then he picks him up in a gorilla press into a spine buster, if you can imagine. Gorilla press into a spine buster. And then near fall. This is where I thought he was about to. This has got to be his finishing.
That's got to be a finisher.
Mendoza kicks out, man. And then this is where Moss gets up and grabs his bottle. And he takes a drink out of it. And he offers a drink to Mendoza, who kicks it out of his hand. And this pisses off Moss. But Mendoza's in the corner. Moss runs in. The bad guys never learn.
No, they don't.
He catches a foot to the face.
Eat the turnbuckle.
Runs in again. So Mendoza drop kicks his knee out from under him, and he goes sick face first into the middle turnbuckle. Just a lot of velocity into the turnbuckle.
Hopefully that thing was low carb. Otherwise, it would have fucked up his diet.
Yeah. Jerry predicted he was about to go on the injured list before the end of this match, and if he did anywhere, it was a concussion right there. Because he hit that middle turnbuckle fucking hard. After this, Mendoza does some other shit, man, and then ends up coming off with a springboard from the apron into just a corkscrew in the air, a single corkscrew splash. It was a little underwhelming of a finish, but the rest of the match, A1, man.
Oh, yes, it was fantastic.
2 great matches in a row. Definitely looking forward to the main event, and there's really nothing between this match and the main event.
No.
But maybe a commercial.
Yep.
I was looking for something. They had nothing, really.
The only thing we really know is that Kushida is returning again next week. Otherwise, even then, they were like, yeah, Kushida, good, great. Colin Riddle!
So, this match got like 22 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And we felt every minute of it.
Now,
it was awesome.
Of course, entrances too, so maybe it got 19 or 20, but wow. What a match. I thought I wasn't going to take many notes. I was just going to sit back and watch it. But eventually stuff started happening. And
too much stuff.
Quite a bit of high spots here.
Oh my God.
But as always, before I get into all of that and break it down, why don't you break it down for me from your point of view?
We had 2, like, pretty much guys that are well over in NXT right now, in Adam Cole and Matt Riddle. Adam Cole, I've been a fan of. He's been wrestling for 11 years. I've watched him from Combat Zone Wrestling all the way up to here. Great guy, consummate professional, always great in the ring. And then you have Matt Riddle, who's taking a while to warm up to, naturally, because of his persona and whatnot.
Yeah, and his mic skills, or lack thereof.
And the lackadaisical thing. But pretty much, I'm starting to realize that's more just to throw people off, kind of like Velveteen Dreams, like, stuff he does. Everybody looks at Matt Riddle, it's like, what? I gotta wrestle this stoner? This is gonna be a piece of cake.
Yeah, and they mentioned that on commentary, like how he comes out with the flip-flops and then he bristles barefoot, and it's to throw people off the game, thinking that it's gonna be easier than it is, and he ends up victorious a lot.
Oh, more often than not, because he's just sick in the ring. His fluid movements, his intensity. I even had to come up with juror rule number 2. I think I had a juror rule number 2 at one point, but now we have a new number 2. We're going to get to that during the breakdown of this match.
Don't enziguri Matt Riddle.
You don't enziguri Matt Riddle.
So, they mention on commentary that Riddle has finally tasted defeat. He lost to Velveteen Dream at TakeOver, and so now he can put, the whole idea of maintaining his winning streak behind him.
And focus on gold.
Yeah. Focus match to match, and in this case, he kept his winning streak. Matt Riddle won, but I don't know if you even call this a fucky finish. Because honestly,
Nothing really happened.
really
No.
was affected. Really, honestly. But I will get to that. A lot of stuff happens in this match for like 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Just some back and forth, some trading, a little bit of light chain wrestling. But what I noticed is that Matt Riddle is he's on another level, man.
Yes.
The very beginning of this match, less chain wrestling and more Matt Riddle just wrestling Adam Cole to the mat.
Yeah.
He just locks him up from behind, like goes under and just takes him down. Cole gets up. Takes him down again. Cole gets up. He picks him up and plants Cole face first into the mat.
It's like, when will you learn?
And as soon as he realizes that Cole has gotten a little bit of, lights out, he immediately tries to lock in the bro mission.
Yeah.
And Cole rolls to the ropes. Oh, this started off great. There wasn't a lot of rest holds.
They kept it moving.
The first enziguri, I think, that Cole hit, Riddle completely no sells. Like, they were trading some stuff. Riddle comes off the ropes, and then he eats a enziguri that he no sells, and then while Cole is still down, because obviously you have to drop to deliver an enziguri, while Cole is still down, he just grabs him up and deadlift German suplexes him.
Yeah.
Fucking wow. Deadlift is the word of the night.
He just flat out just took the enziguri, and that's when I was like, you can't kick a guy that's had that much weed in his system in the head and expect it to be effective.
Matt Riddle deadlifts everything in this match.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. There's a spot where Cole counters a go to sleep, and we know that Riddle was trying a go to sleep because he said, and you can hear him because it's Full Sail, he said, go to sleep.
Yep.
No. Mid-air, Cole turns it around into a backstabber that lands on the back of Matt Riddle's neck. And it was both sweet and brutal looking.
I was about to say, I think it was supposed to be meant to be a backstabber, but the fact that he went for the neck like that, and then you get to play on the arm later with Riddle actually having to shake it off and some nerve damage and whatnot.
And the look on Riddle's face after that move.
It was a shock to the system.
I mean, if you think about Facebook's little shocked emoji, shocked.
Yeah.
Riddle's face was just like, everything was wide open.
Yeah.
So, after that, we got the first breakdown of the match.
Mm-hmm.
This is where they're both on their knees. And just after this, after they get up, finally, Cole takes the advantage, stomps on the foot of Matt Riddle. They were even talking about this on commentary earlier on, and we ended up talking about it too. See, Riddle counters a super kick into an ankle lock, and then Cole tries to get out of it. He turns over and goes to kick him off, and instead Matt Riddle grabs that foot and puts the ankle lock on the other foot, and then immediately goes for a bro mission.
Yeah.
And Cole rolls the bro mission through into a pinfall attempt. Got a near fall off of that. And then, let's see. Riddle hits this big kick to Cole's head that just drops him onto his knees. And then he deadlift fisherman suplexes him from his knees.
Yes.
Twice. He goes for the hat trick. I don't think this is the first hat trick he goes to.
Oh, he earlier he nailed the gut wrench suplex.
Yeah, the hat trick of gut wrenches.
Yeah.
That was my first note. I don't know why I skipped it.
Because you're anxious to get to the other shit.
Well, that's, the hat trick of gut wrenches we've seen before. Well, he goes for the hat trick of the fisherman suplexes, and Cole counters the third one into a fireman's neck breaker. Sort of the welcome to...
welcome to Chicago.
Well, yeah, but in this case it would be welcome to Panama City, as you said.
Yep, welcome to Panama City.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
That's how it goes.
Yes.
He gets a near fall off of that. And then he goes for a Panama Sunrise, and Riddle counters that, but he just kind of picks him up, and then Cole rolls him through, and then we get a whole mess of fucking like counters and rolls, and then counter after counter, and then Cole finally hits a super kick to the back of Riddle's head that just lit him up.
Yeah.
Like, imagine the eyes on the dummy on Three Ninjas. That super kick lit him up. So
nice.
He hits a last shot, but he hits it to Riddle's face, and he gets a near fall. After this, Cole goes for an enziguri. Doesn't work.
No.
Matt hits a high knee then picks him up into a GTS. So he hits the go to sleep, then picks him up for a power bomb, then rolls him through the power bomb and hits a high knee while he's on his knees.
Yes.
Wow.
Very fluid, like seamless is what it was.
I think this is where Cole wisely rolls out of the ring. And he's a mess on the floor on the outside. I don't think the ref has even started counting yet. And Roderick Strong runs out. And he's like, "You okay, man?"
Lifts him up, tries to help him out, get him recomposed, and for his troubles, Matt Riddle comes onto the apron and soccer kicks him in the shoulder.
Well, this whole time, even before the soccer kick, I hear the ref saying, "You're not even supposed to be at ringside." So that answers the question of why wasn't the rest of Undisputed Era, why didn't they come out with him and why weren't they at ringside? They're obviously banned from ringside.
Yeah.
But Strong eats a soccer kick for his efforts, and then when Riddle goes to get back into the ring,
flips into the ring and gets super kicked hard.
Yeah. So after the super kick, Cole goes for lackadaisical, for lack of a better word, a nonchalant cover.
Drapes over,
grabs one leg.
Yeah.
And right before the 3 count, bro mission.
Yep.
Bro mission, and it doesn't take long, and Adam Cole taps out. Yeah.
Yeah. So
great match.
After that, we have the Undisputed Era come out and ask Roderick Strong what he was thinking, and he hadn't really done anything. He was just out there for moral support.
He did nothing but eat a kick to the face for his efforts.
It was
he
his
didn't
shoulder.
Interfere in the match. If anything, him showing up and the ref trying to get him to leave, and the slight bit of misdirection for Matt Riddle allowed for a super kick that, had he delivered a better cover, either A, he might have won the match, or B, at the very least, he wouldn't have been in a position to get the bro mission locked on.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't see where it's Roderick Strong's fault, but Adam Cole seems to think it is. That's how this show goes off the air, is with a couple of minutes of dissension in the Undisputed Era, where Adam Cole sort of being held off by Kyle O'Reilly, and then you got Roderick Strong with Bobby Fish over with him. Although Roderick Strong's not really angry or nothing, he's a little perplexed as to why Adam Cole's pissed at him.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't do anything. You're the one that lost.
Yeah. So eventually, Roderick leaves this way, Adam Cole leaves this way, and again, dysfunction in the junction. There is dissension in Undisputed Era, and I think at this point, this has to pay off with somebody leaving.
Either somebody leaving or them getting the gold, but it's looking like somebody's going to leave.
And I'm sorry, Roddy. It's just easier to take the S out.
Yep.
I mean, they added the S to the logo. By the way, that was a great job adding an S to that logo without fucking up the logo.
Oh, yeah.
I got to give props to Triple H or whoever the fuck did that. I hear Triple H does a lot of his own logos for NXT.
Oh, it doesn't shock me. He probably does a lot of his own artwork for his other stuff, too.
So anyway, that brings us to the end of the main event. Great show. Great main event. Around these parts, we rate the main event of the show using the General's 5-star rating system. And you go first as always. Where do you put this main event?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say 4 1/4. Like, it was a 4-star match through and through. Like, there was like no, title implications or anything like that. It was just a straight up grudge match that launched over just one promo. Just one. And, like, these two are so charismatic in the ring and everything that it carried through. We had your story in there, like the nerve damage to Matt Riddle, like, earlier into the match. We had a lot of great maneuvers out of Matt Riddle. We had a lot of great counters out of Adam Cole. We had a great main event on top of a card that actually had one very surprising middle match and then a decent women's match to kick everything off. And then we have dissension between Undisputed Era. This was a very, very well balanced out show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's also the fact that I've slept. But with Cole and Riddle, there's like no there's no argument that this match wasn't going to be great in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
They're two very consummate professionals. Matt Riddle is just taken to a ring like a fish in water. He's doing fantastic. Cole, 11-year veteran. He knows what he's doing in the ring as well. Kudos to both of them. Great match. Loved it.
I am going to start at a 4-star match because it was at the very least a 4-star match.
Oh, yeah.
Coming off the back of a really great show, and add all of the aftermatch, the end of the match, all of the dissension between the Undisputed Era, where all of that is going. So you had a little bit of the story in the match with the sort of injury that you can only guess at.
Yeah.
It's not like he's limping around or nothing.
Oh, no, like, but that was more of a stinger kind
and
of
Riddle
thing.
was seriously hitting fucking deadlift this and deadlift that all throughout the match, and it's like, if his arm was that bad, I don't know. But the story at the end of the match with Roderick and then the dissension, and I love the fact that you've got the two guys that should be the tag team of the group, in O'Reilly and Fish, kind of having to split up.
Yep.
It's weird, but I like it. I'm going to give this 4.5.
I'm about to say, it almost makes me want to sway mine, but 4.25 still sounds relatively fair to me, because otherwise we're talking like takeover caliber, and this
it wasn't that.
It wasn't that. So
it definitely was takeover length, though.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a takeover length match, and rightfully so. These two need they got roughly 20 minutes, and that's what they needed, and they put on an excellent match. They put on a better match in 20 minutes that the main product can do in like 2 hours, it seems.
Honestly, they could have put this match on an NXT takeover, and I wouldn't have minded. This was a really good match.
This was brilliantly executed.
But it wasn't a takeover. It wasn't for a title.
This is building towards a takeover match.
It's only had, 1 week of a build?
Yeah.
The confrontation was last week on television. So.
Yeah, the fact that they were able to come off that strong with just one build, and then just also build on top of the Undisputed Era breakup that's going to possibly be happening. Good stuff.
So that brings us to the end of this episode of What's NXT, and thank you for joining us. Please join us tomorrow for the NXT party. That's where we will be reviewing episode 42 of NXT UK.
If you remember this stuff now.
I have no idea who we're going to have up here to join us. If we have anybody, I have a completely new schedule at work. He still has the same old schedule, so we're making it work somehow. It is now like 6 or 7, maybe even 8 a.m. instead of way earlier in the morning or late at night.
So don't be fooled by me saying good evening. It's just what I'm used to.
So I can't plug anybody specific to be on the big screen for the NXT party, but if he doesn't have jury duty, he'll be here. And if somebody from Team NXT or the NXT team gets up that early, we'll have somebody up there. But if you want to be up there, and you're going to be, well, it'll probably be too late by the time you see this video tomorrow, but maybe not. Maybe not. If you want to be up on the big screen and help me or help us review an episode of NXT UK, just find me on Twitter. Go to nodq.com/Stefan. That's Stefan. Or if you just want to find me on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. You can also find this gentleman on Twitter
at NoDQ General, and also on my Facebook group Armbar, all capital ARMBAR, exclamation point. Lots of wrestling discussions, wrestling memes, wrestling news. We try to do theme days here and there, and they turn out okay.
I think Tornado Tag Tuesday is caught on.
Yeah, it's actually caught on pretty well. It's just keeping the tornado tags going in the comment section is getting a little difficult. It's the hard part to explain, but we'll get it. It's getting there. It's working.
So find us on the Armbar, but again, do not add us on Facebook. Add us on Twitter. That is our wrestling stuff. Yeah. And Instagram. Add us on Instagram now. You can find me on Wow, I have a new plug.
Oh, God,
Sorry,
no.
everybody. Find me on Instagram at osborne.stefan. All spelled the same way as before.
I'm on Instagram, but it's only because it's linked to my Facebook page, and I really never use it.
Believe it or not, I am in the semifinals for NoDQ.com's Instagram tournament.
Yeah.
For an Instagram champion. There is no reason for this necessarily, but it's all being voted on Instagram.
It's pretty much the universal title of an ODQ.
So I think I beat TJS in the first round, and then somehow beat Cindy G, squeaked by 51 or 52%.
Yeah.
Cindy G in the second round. Now I'm in the semifinals. Guess who my opponent this round is?
Aaron Rift?
Oh, yeah.
Aaron Rift, the boss man himself.
I stand no chance without you guys. So go find NoDQ.com's Instagram page, and when it comes up, I think it starts today. I don't know if my round or my match will be today, but just go to the story, and then the little picture will come up, and you click on my name instead of Aaron's. It would be crazy cool to beat Aaron Rift.
You are aware he's going to see this video, possibly, and he'll just cut this part out.
Yeah, he wants to win.
Or Aaron will just be like, you guys are about to get canceled.
Well, in the other bracket, it is Caitlyn and Jeff Meacham. So if Aaron doesn't slay me, surely one of them will.
Oh, Caitlyn versus Aaron Rift. Instagram belt.
I feel like that's where this is heading. But I also think that Jeff Meacham is probably going to win that bracket. If anybody deserves to, it'd be Aaron and Jeff.
Yeah. Well, either way.
If I treated my Instagram, but honestly, I think Aaron probably deserves to win because I've seen his personal Instagram account and he posts a lot of pictures. I just recently actually kind of started the Instagram thing just to see what this was.
Yeah.
And somehow I started my Instagram journey with 20 some followers. I don't remember creating an Instagram account, but suddenly I had 20 some followers.
Like I said, for a while there was hooked up to Facebook, so people were able to go back and forth that way.
Now, if I treated my Instagram like I treated my Facebook with all the memes and shit, then I feel like I should stand a decent chance against Aaron. But honestly, when it comes to Instagram, he's got me beat. He posts a lot of pictures. Yeah. So anyway, that's all been way off the topic.
Yeah.
Do we have any other plugs?
Go to NoDQ.com. Buy shirts.
Yeah, /shirts. If you like this video, click the like button that's underneath me. If you like all of our videos, you should click the subscribe button that's underneath Jerry. Find us on Aftermatch Wrestling on YouTube. That is our channel. All one word, AFTERMATCH, Aftermatch Wrestling. That is where these videos go about a half a day before they make their way to NoDQ.com, their YouTube channel. And we've also got some
bonus content.
Just subscribe. That's all we're looking for. We are on our way to 100 subscribers, and at 100 subscribers, we will start doing this show. What's NXT Live?
It'll be a morning show.
Yeah, it'll be a morning show. So if you're up, you can watch us while you get ready for work. And if you have any questions, you can drop them down below, and that's our goal. Answer live questions on the air.
That'd be neat.
Also, I wouldn't have to do the editing afterwards.
Absolutely.
And we just have the fuck-ups, whatever.
Fuck-ups. It's not fuck-ups if you're, it's poetic license.
I don't know how we do the cold opens, but I'm sure I could figure it out. I'll just hold up a poster and we'll go, support NoDQ. That's pretty much all we did anyway.
Yeah.
This is all real low production. So, for the General, Jerry Slaughter, I'm the Wizard of NoDQ, Stephen Osborne. Thank you for joining us. Join us tomorrow for the NXT party, and we will see you NXT time.
Support NoDQ.
You can scoot down a little.
Oh, what was my second NXT rule? I have NXT rule number 1, or NXT UK, or the general rule number 1.
There you go.
The general rule number 1 is don't try to vertically suplex Mark Andrew. Try to remember what number 2 is, because now number 3 is do not enziguri Matt Riddle.
Yeah, all that does is piss him off.
It pisses him off or has no effect whatsoever.